देवदत्त जी देशमुख और सभी मान्यवर का यहाँ पे उपस्थित आज के स्वस्थ ऋतु श्रृंखला के जो टॉपिक है अप्लाइड आयुर्वेदिक डायटेटिक्स ब्रिजिंग ट्रेडिशन विथ मॉडर्न, इसके जो वक्ता है हमारे प्रमुख अतिथि रिस्पेक्टेड डॉक्टर मृदुल चित्रकार मैडम, प्रोफेसर एंड एचओडी ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ आयुर्वेदा गोवा, और सभी यूजी पीजी इंटर्न्स और सभी वैद्य डॉक्टर लोगों का मैं आज के इस स्वस्थ ऋतु की श्रृंखला में मैं स्वागत करता हूँ। हमारे कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत आयुर्वेद के आद्य देवता श्री धन्वंतरी इनके स्तवन से होंगी। मैं हमारे आयुर्वेद सेवा संघ आयुर्वेद महाविद्यालय के द्वितीय वर्ष विद्यार्थिनी डॉक्टर पलक जैन इनको विनंती करता हूँ कि वो धन्वंतरी स्तवन करें। पलक जैन।
Yes, sir. शङ्खं चक्रं च लोकान् तदतमृतघटं चारुदोभिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छान्तिरुद्रं शुकपरिविलसन् मौलिसम्भोजनेत्रं तालाम्बूदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसन् चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगदवनं प्रौढदावाग्निनीलम्। Thank you.
धन्यवाद पलक मैडम। हमारे जो आज के प्रमुख वक्ता है डॉक्टर मृदुल चित्रकार मैडम, वो एमडी स्वस्थ ऋतु पीएचडी और प्रेजेंटली वर्किंग एज ए एचओडी एंड प्रोफेसर एट ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ आयुर्वेदा गोवा, यहाँ पे कार्यरत है। मैडम एक जानी मानी हस्ती है जिन्होंने 40+ नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे प्रमुख वक्ता आमंत्रित किया गया है। प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ। और जो पबमेड इंडेक्स जर्नल है स्कोपस, ऐसे नामांकित जो अंतरराष्ट्रीय नियतकालिक है उसमें उन्होंने अपने अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पे लेख संशोधन पर लेख सादर किए हैं। मैडम एकेडमिक्स फील्ड में बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव विंग में भी कार्यरत है। नैक, NABH, IQAC कोऑर्डिनेटर, BOS मेंबर, BHU DY पाटिल यूनिवर्सिटी, और एज अ एग्जामिनर फॉर UG, PG, PhD in various institutions, universities, राजीव गांधी यूनिवर्सिटी, KLE यूनिवर्सिटी, DY पाटिल यूनिवर्सिटी, बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी, यहाँ पे मैडम आमंत्रित होती रहती है। मैडम ने बहुत सारे बुक पब्लिश किए हैं, उसमें से एक कॉस्मो ब्लिस बाय योगा और थेरापेटिक आयुर्वेदिक न्यूट्रिशन, इसमें उन्होंने बहुत काम किया है। मैडम का मैं आज के इस स्वस्थ ऋतु श्रृंखला में आरोग्य भारती पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र प्रांत नेशनल लेवल लेक्चर सीरीज में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। और आज के जो हमारे उद्घाटन और मार्गदर्शन पर हमारे जो अतिथि है डॉक्टर कुलकर्णी सर, वो पुणे से जुड़े हुए हैं, उनका भी मैं स्वागत करता हूं। और उनका परिचय करने के लिए मैं डॉक्टर मनोज चौधरी सर इनको विनंती करता हूं।
नमस्कार। आप सभी का आयुर्वेदाभ्यासनम नेशनल सीरीज रिगार्डिंग ऑल आवर आयुर्वेदा सब्जेक्ट्स जो पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र प्रांत आरोग्य भारती द्वारा आयोजित की जा रही है, सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। और आज के हमारे प्रमुख यहाँ पे उद्घाटक के तौर पे डॉक्टर विनायक किसी कुलकर्णी उपस्थित है, उनका मैं अंशतः परिचय आपको करवाता हूँ। डॉक्टर विनायक कुलकर्णी जी MD पैथोलॉजिस्ट है, लीडिंग प्रैक्टिशनर इन पैथोलॉजी ऑफ पुणे। ऐसा आप सर का परिचय काफी है। हमें सभी को पुणे शहरवासी हो या पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र प्रांत के सभी अपने कार्यकर्ता हो, रुग्ण हो, इनको हमेशा सर का पैथोलॉजी के बारे में मार्गदर्शन उपलब्ध रहता है। आप ओनर है ओम पैथोलॉजी लैब से। सर स्वयं का ओम पैथोलॉजी नाम से बहुत ही विख्यात लैब चलाते हैं, जिनके रिपोर्ट्स के बारे में बहुत ही विश्वसनीयता आपके पुणे महानगर में है। विशेष परिचय सर का मैं करवाना चाहता हूँ। आप प्रेसिडेंट है, अध्यक्ष है पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र प्रांत के आरोग्य भारती के। मैं सर जी को अनुरोध करता हूँ कि आप उद्घाटन घोषित करें एवं कुछ हमें कार्यकर्ताओं को मार्गदर्शन करें। धन्यवाद।
कुलकर्णी सर जुड़े हुए हैं?
हाँ, हेलो हेलो,
हाँ
यू
सर,
आर ऑडिबल
आवाज आ
सर,
रही है।
यू मे स्पीक। हेलो,
यू आर ऑडिबल सर।
हाँ आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ सर, आ रही है।
हाँ, नमस्कार सभी अपने जो भाई बहन जुड़े हुए हैं उनका थोड़ा सा हिंदी मेरे जो रहेगी वो जरा मराठी प्रचुर रहेगी, उसके लिए मुझे जरा थोड़ा सा पहले मैं क्षमा चाहता हूँ। मैं डॉक्टर विनायक कुलकर्णी, मैं पैथोलॉजिस्ट हूँ और आरोग्य भारती के पश्चिम प्रांत महाराष्ट्र पश्चिम प्रांत का अध्यक्ष करके मेरे पास दायित्व है। और ये जो सीरीज चल रही है नेशनल लेवल पे, सच में एज अ होलिस्टिक अप्रोच इट इज रियली ये बहुत अच्छा एक प्लेटफॉर्म या मंच उपलब्ध हो रहा है सभी के लिए। और इसका ये देखते हुए जनरली क्या बोलते हैं, लेट्स सी द सक्सेस ऑफ इट, यानी इसका यश देखते हुए हम सोच रहे हैं कि ऐसे ही सीरीज हम बाकी पैथी के लिए भी चालू कर सकते हैं क्या, इसका भी हम अभी विचार कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि जो भी बेसिक्स है हर एक पैथी के, वो स्नातकों तक पहुंचना चाहिए। जो भी हमारा आज तक का अनुभव है उसका फायदा अपने लोगों के लिए होना चाहिए, जो अंतिम पेशेंट तरफ जाएगा। जैसे भी आरोग्य भारती का अपना यह है कि स्वस्थ व्यक्ति, स्वस्थ परिवार, स्वस्थ ग्राम और स्वस्थ राष्ट्र, इसके लिए ये व्याख्यानमाला बहुत ही उपयोगी साबित हो रही है और इसी के लिए हम आगे जाएंगे और ये सभी पैथी के लिए ये उपयोगी रहेगी, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है, जो भी मैडम अभी डिस्कस करने जा रही है, तो अप्लाइड आयुर्वेदा डायटेटिक्स। सो सभी अगर हम रोग लेते हुए तो सभी का मूल तत्व आहार यही है। अभी जो हम देख रहे हैं कि जो मैं वही सोच रहा था कि हमारे अपने बचपन में 30-40 साल तक तो हमने कभी डॉक्टर का मुंह भी नहीं देखा। तो इसका कारण क्या था कि अपना आहार चतुरस्र था। हम इवन हॉस्टल में रहा करते थे तो हॉस्टल में भी टेस्ट थोड़ी बहुत इधर उधर रहती थी, लेकिन हफ्ता भर पूरा कभी सब्जी रहती थी, कभी चावल दाल, यानी प्रोटीन कार्बोहाइड्रेट ये सब बराबर तरीके से मिलता था। तो अभी जो पूरे अपना ये चल रहा है, तो इसके बेसिस में चेंज इन डाइट स्टाइल इज द मेजर कॉज, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। तो इसी हिसाब से आज का जो अपना लेक्चर है वो सभी के लिए अतिशय उपयोगी साबित होगा, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। सो मैं मेरी तरफ से इसका उद्घाटन करने के लिए अनुमति देता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद कुलकर्णी सर। आज के जो वक्ता है आदरणीय मृदुल चित्रकार मैडम, मैं इनसे विनंती करता हूँ कि वो हमको मार्गदर्शन करें।
धन्यवाद सर। रिस्पेक्टेड डॉक्टर वी डी कुलकर्णी सर, respected Dr. Manoj Kumar Chaudhary sir and Dr. Kamlesh Mahajan sir, thank you for giving me the opportunity to conduct the lecture today, and many thanks for inviting me to the Arogya Bharati Paschim, etc. Am I audible sir?
Yes madam, you are audible.
Now I will share my screen.
Yes.
Now it is visible.
In the process. Yes, madam, it is visible now.
Okay. 1 minute, sir. And it is moving, sir?
No. Please now slide show. Yes. Yes, madam, it is moving now.
Okay. It is moving?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam, voice is not audible.
1 minute, sir. Now my screen is shared now already.
Yes, yes.
1 minute. I think now some problem. It is moving, sir, now. But it is not visible to me.
Okay, now it is not visible. You can try again.
Yes. Now it is
now
visible.
screen sharing process going on. Now it is visible.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, UG and PG students. So we will see some basic concepts, and we will go according to the course outcome and what are the program outcomes, because it comes under the Swasthavritta and yoga subject. We will see both the ways, means how the what we can say, the applied Ayurveda dietetics, bridging the tradition and the practice. Now we will see the presentation in 3 parts, that is knowledge, integration and the application. The first part, we will see that how to describe and explain the classical Ayurvedic dietary principles in short, that is about the ahar, viruddhahar, sanyog, anupan and etc. Then second part will be the integration, how we should, I will say, because we should talk, if we want to integrate or we want to do the integrative research, we must know analyze the traditional dietary prescription that corresponds or contrast with the evidences from the modern nutritional science, and propose the rational modification for real life setting, that is age group, disease states, etc. And third part will be a application part, how we will apply this knowledge and this integration in our diet planning. Now we know that before any medicine, yes, before any therapy or the medicine, before any therapy, there is a ahar. Ayurveda reminds us that the ahara sambhavam vastu rogascha ahara sambhavaha, means both health and diseases arises from the food. So today, as hospitals battle the metabolic diseases, immune disorders and the lifestyle disorder, it's time we return to the first prescription ever written, that is a ahar chikitsa. Because ahar, if anna is a brahma, the source of life, but why do we still treat diet as a supplementary instead of the therapeutic? So we should think that about the ahara chikitsa or ahar as a therapy. This session explores how the wisdom of Charakacharya and Sushrutacharya can harmonize with the evidences of the European Society for the Clinical Nutrition and the Metabolism, WHO, then the RDA recommended dietary administrations, modern clinical nutrition, and transforming the food from philosophy into the measurable therapy. Now, we want to bridge the tradition and the practice. We know the Ayurveda offers the systematic person-centered dietetics, that is Ahar, Agni, Prakriti, Ritucharya, Dinacharya, Pathya Pathya. That is naturally the clinical nutrition practice. And in that, if we will see about the Ahar, first we will classify. Yes, in the modern nutrition as well as in the Ayurveda nutrition, classification of food and or the classification of nutrition. Then second part will be the preparation of the food. That is the rules of the modern or Ayurveda dietetics and the culinary practices. Third will be the principles of food. Then the principles of food we know, when to eat, how to eat, before eating the food, while eating the food, after eating the food, how the kitchen should be, preparatory methods and etc. Then the dietetics, that is a main part, that is a practical approach should be the plan of a diet. It is not like that to write the pathya only and give it to the patients. So the clinical dietetics and the nutrition, that is a clinical dietetics and nutrition. And we will see in the today's lecture, that is which are the scope and the novel concepts of the diet. That if you are doing your PG, if you are doing your PhD, then we should integrate some modern concepts, because this is a AI, then again the biotechnology, bioinformatics, nutraceuticals, clinical nutrition, all these things we can integrate with them, and how we can bridge the tradition with the practice. Now, if you see the food that the person habitually eats is a diet. Just now, a sir told that when we were in the college, our thali was of the multigrain and colorful and other things. So the food that person habitually, but nowadays we are going towards the fast food and the other things. So the food should be food that our bodies need to consume daily to function optimally. Yes. So what it means, the nutrition is what we need, all the right nutrients, and diet is how we get it, the food we eat to attain the nutrients. Now, this is a Ayurveda Ahar. According to Ayurveda, the Ahar or the thali should be like this. In Ayurveda, it is very well explained that how to eat, what to eat, which rasa should be before, पहले कौन सा रस लेना चाहिए, बीच में कौन सा, लास्ट में कौन सा, कौन से थाली में खाना खाना है, जैसे कांस्य है, फिर ताम्र पात्र में हमें जल लेना है, and all these things it is very well explained, and there is a scientific approach. Our approach should be scientific. Scientifically we can prove all these things, and how we can prove this we will see. So आहारः प्रीणनः सद्यो बलकृत देहकारकः आयुस्तेज समुत्साह स्मृत्योजो अग्नि विवर्धनः. According to Sushruta Chikitsasthan, means in a Chikitsasthan it is explained by Sushrutacharya that ahar is nothing but you are what you eat. Yes, in short, the definition tells us that you are what you eat. Now, these are the fundamentals of dietary regimen. We all know as Ayurveda students, there are everything in a therapy, whatever the drugs we are giving, or in a diet, we should think in this way, that the theory of 5 elements, that is a Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta, Tridosha Siddhanta, then the Prakriti according to psychosomatic constitution, and for the Ahar, it is very important to think about the Shadrasas. Then we know all these principles of dietetics according to Ayurveda. So if we will compile according to the Brihatraya, that is a Ashtahara Vidhi Visheshaitanani. That is these are the 8 attributes related to the food. Then Saptahara Kalpana Vishesha, according to Ashtanga Sangraha Sutrasthan, 7 factors of dietetics. Then Ahara Vidhi Vidhan, the rules of food intake according to the Charaka Vimanasthan. Then Dvadashasan Pravichar, these are the 12 kind of food administration, special administration of food. It is also explained by Sushrutacharya in Uttarasthan. And Viruddha Ahar, that is a food interaction, that is a food processing, interaction, and the incompatible diet according to the Charaka Sutrasthan. Means whenever, so we see that when to again Means in short, in it is explained that when to eat, how much to eat according to your Agni, when to eat, that you should follow the Rutu, that is circadian cycle, then day, then in the while eating the food also, means in the morning hours, afternoon hour, in the night, according to Rutu, then the Varsha Rutu, Sharad Rutu, according to the doshas, and the Prakopa, Prashama, and the Sanchaya. Then you should think about your Agni Bal also. Then while eating also, before eating, yes, first what we should eat, in between, after that, then Agni Bala, and when not to eat, it is also very well explained in our Shastra. Now, this is very, very important that the biological properties of food, such as we should think the biological properties of food, such as heavy, light, origin of food, environmental factors, then the preparation of the food, freshness of the food, yes, wrong cooking procedures, it is very well explained. Then irregular timing, consuming imbalanced and the non-congenial food, and not following the prescribed rules. So what will happen if you will not follow the prescribed rules? Then again, the quantity of food. Yes. So now we are, according to the modern science, we count the calorie count, macronutrients, micronutrients, then the vitamins, antioxidants, minerals, how much you should take this. But here, and when to eat, calorie means again the carbohydrate will give you how much calorie. In Ayurveda, it is very simply, it is explained that about the quantity of the food. That is a rules while taking the diet. That is the sequence of consuming the food. First, you should take the sweet, then sour and salty, then bitter, astringent, and the pungent. Then time of consuming the food. Just now I told you that the time of the day, that is 6 to 10 Kafakal, Pittakal, Vatakal. And according to your disease condition, according to your Prakriti, that is your genetical constitution. The biological clock runs in a cycle of approximately 24 hours, and in conjunction with the day and the night, you have to eat your food. Then while dining, I told you the place should be clean, food should taken after complete the digestion, hard item consume first, then the don't drink the water just after the lunch and other things. Yes, then the very important thing is what you should consider while planning the diet. Suppose as a PG student, or as if we are practicing the diet, or the wellness center, or the other things, that we should think the Ayurveda states that diet can be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. Describe the characteristics of the food in terms of quality, quantity, time, which vary with. Again, you should think quality, quantity, time, it's fine. But again, you should think about the age, pediatric, geriatric, then the constitution, that is a dosha, digestive power, season, disease, and again, in the specific disease, again, it changes according to person. One has to consume the diet which is suitable to him, and portion size should be customized for each individual according to one's own needs. Means always in Ayurveda, there is a personalized approach, individualized approach. Whenever we are giving the medicine, we are not following the symptomatic treatment, or the same here about the food also. Yes, then means whenever we are giving the treatment to the patient, or we prescribe the diet, or we give a diet plan to the healthy individual or a diseased person, we should think there is always in Ayurveda treatment, there is a pro-nature approach, a holistic approach. Yes, we treat a person as a whole. And third thing is a personalized approach. Yes, then the concept of the Agni. That is correlation with the modern concept. So we know the Jatharagni, Dhatwagni, and the Bhutagni. The Jatharagni, biotransformation at the GIT level. This Agni is responsible for the appetite of an individual as well as the digestion of food in the GIT. If we will correlate it with the modern science, this is parallel to the gut enzyme, and the we can say the neuropeptides and the related transcriptional and the translational factors, that is the gut microbiome, can also be considered under this Agni. After the action of this Agni, complex substances get broken down into the smaller particles and converted into the biocompatible form. Second one is a Dhatu Agni, that is a Dhatu and Agni, that is tissue level biotransformation. Means metabolism taking place at the Dhatu. They are 7 in number and are named after each Dhatu. Means if we will correlate it with the modern science, then Dhatwagni can be considered as an intermediate metabolism in the contemporary light. That is, it is the intracellular chemical processes by which the nutritive material is converted into the cellular material. Nutritive material will be converted into the cellular material. Third one is a Bhutagni, that is the end stage of the biotransformation. It is responsible for the final biotransformation. They are 5 in number, and that these are the Mahabhuta. Just know, I told you that this is a parallel to the transformation happening at the cellular or the molecular level, and the if we will correlate it with the modern science, the modern physiological perspective, the action of Jataragni can be equated with the digestion in the stomach and the duodenum, while the action of the Bhutagni can be equated with the conversion of the digested food. So we should correlate it. If you want to do the integrative studies, the Jataragni, Dhatwagni or Bhutagni, or you want to see the effect, that is a assimilation, digestion of food, assimilation of food, then the excretion, absorption, you should think on these levels, that is on the enzymatic level, neuropeptide, intermediate metabolism and other things. Now, how dietary Ayurveda may work, that is a testable hypothesis. So now here we will correlate. Now up till now, what we have seen, that is which are the concepts, basic concepts of Ayurveda dietetics. Means whenever we want to plan a diet for any healthy individual or a patient, we should think according to Ayurveda, we should think all these things. Yes. Now, henceforth, the Ahar, Agni and Prakriti. Yes, these things are important. So Ahar, according to, if we want to correlate it with the, suppose, because we want to communicate or we want to talk in the person's language who can understand our language. So we must know their language. There should not be a communication gap between us. So for that purpose, we must know these basic terms. That is Ahara, macro and the micronutrient intake, that is a food pattern. So in short, macro and micronutrients. Again, there is a carbohydrate, types of carbohydrates we know, monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, and which saccharides we have to take. In short, the millets and the metabolic health, systematic nutrition evidences supports the millet as a low glycemic index. Fiber-rich cereals beneficial for the metabolic outcome and making them a practical hospital diet component. अगर पूरे आहार की बात करते हैं तो हमारा मेकिंग प्रैक्टिकल हॉस्पिटल डाइट कंपोनेंट्स के लिए हमें क्या करना है. सेकंड पार्ट विल बी अ डाइजेस्टिव, दैट इज अग्नि, दैट इज एंजाइमेटिक एक्टिविटी, gut microbiome and the metabolic rate. Now Agni modulation will improve the digestive enzymatic activity. Ultimately, it reduces the ARM, that is a metabolic endotoxin. It completes the digestion product. Then the less systemic inflammation, testable gut permeability, that is lipopolysaccharides, LPS and zonulin and etc. So in this way, you should think for the Agni. Third will be the Prakriti, that is a host phenotype or a genotype that we can tell. We will see about the Ayurgenomics and how we can work on the nutrigenomics. That is a Prakriti guided diet. Yes. So already in Ayurveda, that I told you, that is a personalized approach. Yes. So every individual is different, and the whatever for the gene regulation and other things, we have to follow these things. है ना, हम काफी बार देखते हैं अर्टिकेरिया है, किसी को एलर्जी है, एक को ये बहुत सूट होता है लेकिन दूसरे को वो चीज बिल्कुल भी सूट नहीं होती है. That is a personalized approach. So Prakriti correlates with the genotype, phenotype that predicts the metabolic response. That is a Ayurgenomics, testable genomics, and the metabolomics versus the Prakriti. Then it will be mapping the Ayurveda with modern biology according to Rasa and the Gunam. So map the food bioactives, that is a bitter phytochemical fatty acid profiles that modulate the inflammation and the metabolism. Means, in short, according to Ayurveda, we will apply all the Ayurvedic principles. We will follow all the Ayurvedic principles. Whatever are our basic principles, we will not compromise with our principles, but how we can talk in this way, that adding the Triphala as an adjunct food for the metabolic and the gut modulation, proper anupan like buttermilk or post milk to optimize the digestion and the microbiota. Means what we can say, the inflammation will reduce. Then the same Rutucharya, Dinacharya, Ratricharya, we will follow the same concepts, but resonates with the resonates with the chrononutrition. That is a concept. The chrononutrition is a part of modern dietetics, in that the meal timing, circadian biology that they follow that affect the metabolic homeostasis. So recommended diet in night shift, for example, because it is not advisable, or it is not given, or this is a logic that if a person is doing a night shift, improves for the improvement of the digestion of that person, it stimulates the energy, then the moisturizes the food and helps to eliminate excess bloating, avoid what aggravating taste, and the bitter and the astringent taste. Means what shamak diet you have to prescribe to them. Then rasayana food. Again, rasayan, we know that is an antioxidant immunomodulator effect via the modulation of the cytokines. But if you want to see the effect of your ahar or any product developed by you of the ahar, you should go, or you should think these parameters also. You should prove your diet or your rasayana or your whatever that on this that in such a way that you can present your study, or you can present your diet, you can present your product in worldwide. Yes. So NK cell, hello. NK cell activity and antioxidant enzymes. So clinical data shows that the immunomodulatory potential for the formulation containing amalki, guduchi, ashwagandha, so improvements on the quality of life improvement and some immunomarkers reported in clinical and the elderly cohorts. So safety and the standardization issue again remain. Now, classical concept and modern concept, we know that the Prakriti, about the Prakriti, that is a personalized nutrition, that the meal timing, I told you about the chrononutrition and the mindful eating, then incompatible food combinations. Again, they are talking about the scientific evidences that allergies, intolerances, effect of combining certain food like iron and calcium, it will not absorb properly. That is a nutritional topology, is a branch which tells you about the incompatibility of the food. Then the proper combination, like a food-drug interaction. So we are working, those who are working in the NABH hospitals or on integrative clinics, you can see there they are working on the food-food interaction, food-drug interactions. So the proper combination is very important. Then anupana. Anupan, substances taken with after the food, in between the food, or before the food. The example, honey with a herbal powder, water or buttermilk after the meal. So that is a synergistic nutrient effect. Like vitamin C enhance the iron absorption. Yes, then the cooking method affecting the bioavailability. Same ingredients, same thing, but if we are cooking it on the open vessel, in the open vessel, in a pressure cooker, or in an oven, the nutritional constitution will change. So this is a simple thing. So this simple experiments we can do, that is a digestive aids, functional beverages, role of fluids in the nutrient absorption. Means in short, the classical concept of Ayurveda and modern concept, we should correlate with each other and go for the advancement of the diet research. Now, understanding nutritional epidemiology through the Ayurvedic lens. Now, what is a nutritional epidemiology? Nutritional epidemiology is a science, and through the Ayurveda lens, we can say the nutritional epidemiology study how the diet influences the disease patterns in the population. Obviously, if we will see the any cross-sectional study, that the which diet the some kind of people in one state or in one city, or the diet, how that and the prone to diseases, means diet influences the disease pattern in a population. Yes, it is we know that in a fast life, in a lifestyle modification, in a lifestyle disorders, we can see this, the influence of diet in a disease pattern. So Ayurveda for the millennia has already described this relationship through Ahara, Agni, and the Prakriti constitution. That is Hita Hitam, Sukham Dukkham, Ayustasya Hita Hitam. Yes, so we will see the nutrigenetics and the nutrigenomics. Now, how we can correlate these, the nutritional epidemiology in the Ayurvedic lens, and we means how we can correlate it with the, if you want to do the further studies on the nutrigenomics or on the Ayurveda diet, that is a nutrigenetics or the nutrigenomics. So nutrigenetics aligns with the Prakriti-based responses. So the bioinformatics on the genetic level, each dosha react differently to the same food. If we want to show these things, so we must know the nutrigenetics. Then the nutrigenomics aligns with the ahara dravya, guna, and karma, how the food qualities influence the body function and the gene activity. That is a nutrigenetics is how do my gene affect my response to food. That is why some people gain weight gain on the carbs faster than the others. And two people are there, but how? That is, we know that vata, kapha prakriti, pitta prakriti, all these things, but on the nutrigenetics level, how we can prove these things? Then nutrigenomics, that is a strict science, that how does food affect my genes? That is how turmeric, that is reduces the inflammatory gene expression. These are some just examples I am giving, that the Ayur nutrigenomics is ensured due to the integration of Ayurgenomics with the traditional concept of Ahar and the Pathya, the term. It is systematic integration of nutritional practices according to Ayurveda in relation to the Prakriti of an individual, which amalgamates the information from the genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, and projected to provide a solid evidence-based scientific foundation for the advancement of the personalized nutrigenomic dietetics. So the nutrition takes a central stage in the Ayurvedic therapy. Yes, which is personalized according to the individual constitution of a person at the system biology level. Means we can say, you know, in any Samhita, if we will see in a Charak Samhita, in a Yoga Ratnakar, even in a Bhaishajya Ratnavali. So after every disease, there is a Pathya. Yes, so it is a prior important. If the is given, means the if medicine with you are taking with the Pathya, if the you are not following the Pathya, medicine is of no use. Therefore, it is the Ayurvedic dietetics has a predictive and the preventive nutritional epidemiology. Now, in the prevention, predict as a therapy as well as in a prevention. Constitution disease link millennia before the modern genetics by identifying the prakriti early. Means if any family, yes, genetically, or any race, or any state, or any country is prone to any disease, that is a constitution disease link, that is a identify. And if we identify the prakriti early, it's possible to predict the lifestyle disease risk and modify the diet to prevent the disease onset. Means जो भी burden है अभी हेल्थ पॉलिसीज होगा, नेशनल हेल्थ प्रोग्राम्स है, जो भी है, अगर हम देखते हैं जेनेटिकली प्रोन अगर कोई है, वी विल टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ डायबिटीज मेलाइटस. So we can predict the lifestyle disease by identifying the prakriti early, and we will prescribe or we will plan according to the prakriti. This embodies the true public health dimension of Ayurveda, not just the curative but the predictive nutrition science. By assessing prakriti and dosha balance, dietitian can design precision diet for each patient, reducing the burden of chronic metabolic, immune, as well as the skin disorders. So whatever the non-communicable, even the communicable diseases, by giving the immunomodulator diet. So the Ayurgenomics modern validation of Prakriti-based metabolism means Ayurgenomics integrates the genomic science with Ayurvedic Prakriti. How? So it establishes that the dosha predominance correlate with the distinct metabolic inflammatory pathways. How? So Prakriti type, we know if Kapha Prakriti is there, the low basal metabolism and the anabolic tendency is there. So which they are susceptible to the obesity, diabetes, lifestyle disorders, that is a dyslipidemia, heart diseases. What we can do in that case? Light, dry, spicy diet, lagu, ushna, tikta and katu rasatmak ahar you have to prescribe to the patient. Now pitta dominance, high metabolism and the catabolic inflammatory means ulcers, skin disorders, they are prone to the liver inflammation. In that case, the cooling diet, sweet, bitter food, that is a shita, madura and a tikta rasa, you have to advise to such kind of persons. Then vata means to prevent the diseases. Variable metabolism, that is a catabolic and unstable. So disease susceptibility will be the neurological, musculoskeletal, anxiety. So in that case, what we prescribe? Warm, oily, nourishing food. Means apatarpan, santarpan, warm, cooling, light, whatever it is explained in a Dwadashasan Pravishan, right? So the logic is that we have to use the logic for the genomic science, and it correlate with the Ayurveda Prakriti. So Ayur nutrigenomics is the main types and branches of nutrigenomics now, and how it can be correlate with the Ayurveda food or the our Ayurvedic principles. So like nutrigenomics, that is a core field, studies how nutrients influence the gene expression and how food can turn on or turn off certain genes, right? So how omega-3 fatty acid activate the PPAR genes to reduce the inflammation. Means omega-3 fatty acid will reduce the inflammation. It's a nutrigenomics and how nutrient influence the gene expression. Now nutrigenetics studies how genetic variation affects the way individual respond to the nutrients. Individual response to the nutrients means people with MTHFR mutation need more folate. We actually we want some other classes also to understand these things, but just I will give you the rough idea or the superficial ideas of these types and the branches of the nutrigenomics, and how we can do the research or studies on the basis of this and our basic concepts of Ayurveda with the correlation with the branches of the nutrigenomics. Then the transcriptomics in the nutrition. Studies changes in RNA expression. That is examining how the high-fat diet alters the liver gene expression. Yes. Then the proteomics in the nutrition examines how dietary factors change the protein production and the function. That is studying how antioxidant modify the inflammatory proteins. Then the metabolomics in the nutrition studies the small molecules produced during the digestion and the metabolism give a real-time picture of the nutrition effect, that detecting the metabolites after eating the polyphenol-rich food like the berries. Then the microbiome nutrigenomics studies how the gut microbes and the host genes interact with the diet, means how probiotics or the prebiotics, that is fiber intake, after the microbiome gene expression and the influence the immunity. So in this way, we will see the Prakriti, that is a modern studies, that is a CSIR, IGIB, AIMS collaboration showed that on the basis of this, these studies already happened. This validates that the Ayurvedic Prakriti type is equivalent to the genetic risk stratification in the epidemiology. Like a Kapha Prakriti have a higher BMI and higher insulin resistance. Vata Pitta Prakriti, lower BMI, higher oxidative stress, and increased platelet aggregation. Kapha dominance, slower the aging and the better longevity. Thus, Ayurvedic clinical dietetics can predict and prevent the disease by identifying the Prakriti. Means, take a message is that हम क्या बोल सकते हैं कि Ayurveda clinical dietetics can predict and prevent the disease by identifying Prakriti and managing diet accordingly, a preventive nutritional epidemiology model. So we have to develop a preventive epidemiological model, and we should do the studies or do the research in such a way, or work on in such a way that we can prove these things. When doshas deviate from their balanced state, now we know that in a kapha aggravation, just now I told you weight gain, insulin resistance. Why? Because the metabolic syndrome. In that case, what we are giving? We are giving the langan, that is a lightening diet for the kapha imbalance. In a pitta aggravation, mainly the skin and liver disorders are there. What we are doing? Shamana chikitsa, that is a pacifying diet. Then vata aggravation, that is a degenerative diseases. What we are giving? Bruhana chikitsa, that is a nourishing diet. Very simple. So applied examples from hospital dietetics, we will see in a metabolic syndrome, kapha dominance, what we are giving? Yava, Manda, Pitta, Yusha, Takra. You can do the clinical studies also in a metabolic syndrome, add-on studies, or अगर diabetes mellitus है, pre-diabetes में है, pre-hypertension है, इसमें ये सब reduce BMI करके प्रोफाइल के लिए या dyslipidemia में आप ये studies भी कर सकते हैं. Now immunodeficiency chronic fatigue. That is black marker. Please mute yourself. Rasayan ahara, that is a ghee, amalki, mudgayusha. Yes, that is improved hemoglobin and CD4 count. तो इसमें आपको क्या करना है? अगर आपने ये एक ट्रायल लिया है, क्लिनिकल स्टडी लिया है, अभी स्पार्क के प्रोजेक्ट आ रहे हैं, काफी कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स है, उसमें भी आप ये दे सकते हो. तो आपको पैरामीटर्स कौन से यूज करना है? इफ यू विल यूज दिस पैरामीटर्स, that is a BMI, lipid profile, CD4 count, the IgM, IgG, and other things. Then in inflammatory markers, other skin textures and other things, then you will prove it and you can present these studies in front of the in better journals or in front of the world. That because our terminology now, and we never what we can say, we are not replacing or whatever the basic principles, we are following all these principles, but we are proving this on the modern parameters also. So clinical dietetic correlation by identifying which dosha is aggravated dietitian can create a Ayurvedic nutritional intervention. That is a energy balance metabolism. Yes, nutrient absorption and the digestion. Agni dhatu poshanane. Yes, energy balance. Assess the Agni bala before the diet planning. We will see that is a practical application, how we can plan the diet, how you should take the diet recall and other things. That is a nutrient absorption and digestion, pachana, rasadhatu nirmana. That is usa dipan pachanahar. Then the inflammatory markers, inflammation control, if you want, the pitta shamana and the ama pachana. That is use anti-inflammatory rasas like a tikto and the kashai. Then personalized nutrition, prakriti anusar ahar. Design the prakriti specific hospital menus. Means if you want to bridge and nutritional according to all the you want to present the Ayurveda dietetics rule, Ayurveda basic concepts in front of the or the integrate these things with the modern literature. You must know all these things, and these are basic concepts. Now, the seasonal and the dosha specific diet, you know, the analysis and the modification, that is Ayurveda pitta balancing in the summer. So how we can correlate it? Modern science nutritional guidelines support the seasonal produce for the freshness, immune function, climate-based hydration needs. Now Ayurveda restrict milk and salty food. That is a uniqueness of Ayurveda. जैसे हम बोलते हैं पंचकर्म यूनिकनेस है, वैसे आयुर्वेदिक डाइटेटिक प्रिंसिपल्स जो है, यूटेंसिल्स भी कैसे यूज करना है, किसके बाद कौन सा रस यूज करना है, खाने से पहले क्या खाना है, बीच में क्या खाना है, बाद में क्या खाना है, पानी कब पीना है, कब कौन सा पानी पीना है, आहार कैसे लेना है, that is a uniqueness of Ayurveda, and you have to prove this uniqueness, and that is evidence based. Evidences, we are creating the evidence. Ayurveda restrict the milk and salty food. That is a modern science shows this may worsen the lactose intolerance symptom or the increased risk of the digestive upset in a sensitive population. That is what, so we want this viruddhahar, है ना, काफी studies हो चुके हैं, but we can do like this. Now preventive diet, that is Ayurvedic plan. Early regular meals based on the dosha. That is a warm breakfast for the vata, raw salads for the kapha at lunch. That is a seasonal food, anupan like warm water, buttermilk, post meal. So it is parallel with the modern diet. Is that the Mediterranean diets, emphasis on the whole, fresh, minimally processed food, meal regularity, and the moderate portions. So I tried to what we can say correlate it with the modern concept, like a disease specific example, metabolic disorders, for example. Ayurveda favors barley, green gram, both bitter gourd and trikatu with a light meals. Modern guidelines suggest high fiber, low glycemic index in the diabetes mellitus patient. So what we are doing additional, use the Triphala powder as a mild detox. Means what we are doing, detox, and the that is Ama pachana, the modern consideration, barley soluble fiber helps the glycemic control, legumes provide the plant protein, and buttermilk improves the gut flora. That we are talking about the microbiota and the again the probiotics and prebiotics and how it works in the immunity as a immunomodulator. Now digestive disorders, it is very good, and Ayurveda we know that we have a best treatment, but if you are giving it with a diet and all this scientific way, that is a Ayurvedic plan, that is a rice kanji, yawabu, cooked veggies with ginger, cumin water, avoid a raw and cold food, as well as a heavy wheat and the cheese, gluten free. Then many a times lactic acid, lactose intolerance agar hai, to modern parallel low FODMAP, cooked over a raw vegetables, anti-inflammatory herbs, and the spices they are also using. So Allied Ayurveda Dietetics, why need bridging? Now bridging kyo chahiye? Now we turn to the third part, that is the applied part. First part we have seen Ayurveda basic principles. In the second part we have seen that how we can bridge. That is on which basis how we can create the evidences and prove our whatever the basic things in a scientific it is already a scientific way, but according to the modern parameter. Applied Ayurveda Dietetics, why need a bridging? So we have many questions. Do we evaluate the outcome of diet therapy regularly? We are giving the diet. हम क्या करते हैं, एक बार हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं, अपने ओपीडी में पेशेंट आता है, उसको हम डाइट देते हैं, लेकिन उसका हम आउटकम इवेल्युएट करते हैं क्या रेगुलरली, कि आज ये खाने के बाद कुछ हुआ क्या, उसके बाद कुछ हुआ क्या. ये 15 दिन तक आपको डाइट देने के बाद, है ना, पहले जैसे दीपन पाचक हमने डाइट दिया, बाद में हमने थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ बढ़ाया, जो भी किया, तो उसके बाद हम थेरेपी रेगुलेटरी करते हैं क्या. Do we change the diet protocol based on the scientific evidences? तो डाइट प्रोटोकॉल जो भी है, कि एक ही डाइट चार्ट है वो हम सबको दे रहे हैं. डाइट प्रोटोकॉल बेस्ड ऑन द साइंटिफिक एविडेंसेस वी आर चेंजिंग और नॉट. यस, अभी हमें पता चला है सीकेडी पेशेंट है, क्रिएटिनिन बढ़ा है, यूरिक एसिड बढ़ा हुआ है ऑलरेडी. यस, आयुर्वेदा पथ्य में सब चीजें दी हुई है, लेकिन इफ वी विल स्टडी इट इज ऑब्जर्व दैट नॉन वेजिटेरियन अगर पेशेंट है तो उनमें यूरिक एसिड ज्यादा है, तो उसमें प्रोटीन हम कम दे रहे हैं क्या, कंप्लीट प्रोटीन कम देना है क्या, या फिर जो इनकम्प्लीट प्रोटीन है उसको बढ़ाना है क्या. इसमें आयुर्वेद में हमें इवन एवरी ग्रेन, एवरी पल्सेस जो भी है, दालें है ना, शुक्र धान्य, शमी धान्य, एवरी इंग्रेडिएंट के प्रॉपर्टीज आर डिफरेंट and you have to prove these properties according to the modern parameter. Why do some diet based results in accidental or the inconsistent? तो ऐसा क्यों होता है कि हमें कुछ रिजल्ट जो है वो थोड़ा अलग दिखते हैं. We will see in the examples. Do we feel helpless when dietary plans fail without a clear cause? अगर हमने कुछ डाइटरी प्लान दिया और बाद में पेशेंट हमारे पास आता है कि नहीं नहीं फिर भी मुझे ऐसे ही हो रहा है, तो हमने डाइट रिकॉल प्रॉपरली लिया था क्या, हमने क्या गलती की, तो ये हमें सब देखना चाहिए. डू वी नीड स्ट्रक्चर्ड, स्टैंडर्डाइज, एविडेंस बेस्ड आयुर्वेदिक डाइट प्रोटोकॉल्स? हमारे पास है क्या, हमें चाहिए क्या, कि वी नीड, यस वी नीड स्ट्रक्चर्ड, स्टैंडर्डाइज एंड एविडेंस बेस्ड आयुर्वेदिक डाइट प्रोटोकॉल. मीन्स हमारे पास अभी बहुत काम है आयुर्वेदा डायटेटिक्स में करने के लिए, जो कि हमें पहले क्या करना चाहिए, स्ट्रक्चर, स्टैंडर्डाइज, एविडेंस बेस्ड आयुर्वेदिक डाइट प्रोटोकॉल्स बनाना है, और फिर हम बोलेंगे कि यस वी आर. तो उसके लिए हमें क्या करना है, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू. तो जनरल फ्लो चार्ट, व्हेन ओपीडी आईपीडी में हमारे पास अगर पेशेंट आता है तो हमें सबसे पहले क्या करना है, यू हैव टू टेक द हिस्ट्री टेकिंग, दैट इज कंडीशंस एज अ स्वस्थ और आतुर. यस, then we will see the spatial considerations, that is prakriti, agni, koshta, satmya, desh. I will show you the how we can do the nutritional analysis. Diet recall, yes, उसका डाइट रिकॉल देना है कि वो सुबह से शाम तक क्या खाता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक स्किन डिसीज का पर्सन है और वो सालों साल क्या कर रहा है, दूध और रोटी ही खाते आ रहे हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेदा. या नाउअडेज जो भी फूड है, अभी जिम में जाते हैं लोग तो केला और दूध, बनाना मिल्क शेक, सो दिस इज अ विरुद्ध आहार. तो हमें पता ही नहीं है वो क्या डाइट ले रहा है, तो उससे पहले प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं करना है. या फिर डाइट रिकॉल क्यों लेना है, अगर वो पर्सन अभी तक कभी उसने रोटी या ज्वार मिलेट कभी खाया ही नहीं है, वो राइस ही खाते आ रहा है, उसको साथ में है, और हम एब्रप्टली उसको बोलेंगे कि राइस बंद कर दो, he will change the doctor. Yes, so assessing the requirement of the modification in the diet. तो जो उसका डाइट चल रहा है उसमें हम क्या मॉडिफिकेशन कर सकते हैं वो हमें देखना है. Then deciding the total amount of specific meal as well as the food groups. This is also very important कि प्रोटीन कंटेंट, इफ एथलेट्स अपने पास आता है मुझे उसको आयुर्वेदिक डाइट देना है, तो वी शुड सी, वी मस्ट नो द recommended dietary analysis also. So उसको प्रेग्नेंट लेडी है, yes, then the सुतिका है, yes, तो ANC PNC में भी उसका रिक्वायरमेंट, प्रोटीन रिक्वायरमेंट कितना चाहिए ज्यादा, कैल्शियम रिक्वायरमेंट कितना ज्यादा चाहिए, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स और उसको कितना चाहिए, ओमेगा 3 चाहिए, सो व्हाटएवर. बट हमारा जो भी आयुर्वेदिक डाइट है इसमें ये कैसे हम दे सकते हैं और इजीली डाइजेस्टेबल कैसे हो सकता है, So we should think in such a way. That is a deciding total amount of specific meal as well as the food groups. Then the distribution of meals as per the person's routine and the prakriti. This is also very important. Person's routine. हम उसको बोल रहे हैं कि दोपहर में आपको छाछ भी लेना है, दाल भी लेना है. अगर वो टिफिन लेकर जाता है, सुबह 8 बजे घर से निकलता है और रात को 8 बजे डायरेक्टली आता है, तो उसमें हमें क्या मॉडिफिकेशन कर सकते हैं? So you have to distribute the meals as per the person's routine and the prakriti also. Yes, it is not like that कि सिर्फ हमने नीचे उसको पथ्य क्या है लिख दिया और छोड़ दिया. So you have to give the time. This is a चिकित्सा, डाइट चिकित्सा is very very important. लेकिन इसको बहुत कम इम्पोर्टेंस दिया है, लेकिन क्योंकि इसके लिए हमें पेशेंट के साथ टाइम देना है. It is very important. Then convincing for the essential change in the diet. फिर उसको कन्विंस करो कि नहीं, अगर वो नहीं खाता है लेकिन उसके लिए वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि मुझे शुंठी देना है, ड्राई जिंजर पाउडर आई हैव टू प्रिस्क्राइब इन द मिल्क. He or she doesn't want to drink a sunta siddha doodh anyhow, but convince them that it is very helpful for you, it is good for you, it will be minimize your medicine and it is good for your health and other things. The instructions for pathya and apatya, that is then give the instructions for the, that is what you have to avoid and what you have to eat. That is, don't change the habitual diet abruptly. Just now I told you, and completely increase the awareness about the principles of ahar and good habits related to. Baki, then whenever he will come, increase the awareness about the principles. Dietetic, whatever our unique principles are there, so explain them. Ki don't drink water just after the, if you are taking a buttermilk, so don't drink a lassi. How to prepare how to settle a curd, how to prepare a buttermilk. Yes, and when you have to drink the buttermilk, how to soak the seeds and other things. You should tell everything to them. Now, do we evaluate the outcome of diet therapy regularly? Yes. Example, I'll give the diabetic patient prescribed the Ayam, Methika and Tiktarasa Dravyas shows improved GI, but without systemic outcome tracking, that is a blood sugar, body composition, Agni Bala, result remains the, it is of no use. That is a bridging practice. Introduce Ayurvedic nutritional assessment forms that record the Agni, Koshta, Prakriti and the biochemical markers together. Means whenever you prescribe the diet, in your nutritional assessment chart, you should add the biochemical markers also. So research from Ayam in 2022, the Ayurveda pathya demonstrated statistically significant improvement in the insulin sensitivity. Then do we change diet protocol based on the scientific evidences? Yes, the Mudga Yusha. Yes, scientific evidence, just now I told you that we change the diet protocols. The Mudga Yush is classically advised in the fever and the skin disorders, but modern research shows that it has a low GI and rich polyphenols, support gut and the liver detoxification. Why? So Mudga is very good, and the green gram you have to use. It is Sadapatyam. Why it is Sadapatyam? Because it have low GI, it has a rich polyphenols, single bonding, then it helps in the gut and the liver detoxification. Means scientifically, in a bridging practice, it has been proved that reassesses the clinical diet combination, Ahara Kalpana, with the modern nutritional analysis, macro and micro balance antioxidant capacity. So evidence is that in 2020, study on the Mudga Yusha found improved gut microbiota diversity in the inflammatory bowel disease models. Yes, means if you want to do the in vivo study, in vitro study, animal studies, clinical studies, you can go like this and prove the evidences. Why do some diet-based results seem accidental or this is very important. That two hypothyroid patient, one is of kapha prakriti and one is of a vata prakriti, respond differently to the same pathya like a takra, right? So we are giving the takra, but we will change the spices in the takra. we will see in a hypothyroid patient hai, PCOD patient hai, one patient is very thin, one patient is very obese, so same we can't prescribe a same diet. So we will follow again the Ayurvedic principles, that is an individualized approach. But in a bridging practice, what we will do? Apply a Prakriti based personalized hospital diet, introducing Vata, Pitta, Kapha menu codes. Yes, so Ayurgenomic studies in CSRI IJB in 2015 to 23 support distinct metabolic gene expression patterns according to Prakriti and validating the tailored nutrition. Yes, so now third question is, do we feel helpless when dietary plans fail without clear cause? Yes. So in eczema, just giving a detox diet without correcting the mandagani. Detox diet we are giving, but first you should give the Dipan Pachan. So when we want to detox, पंचकर्म में भी अगर हमें डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन करना है, शोधन करना है, तो हमें पहले उसका दीपन पाचन करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. डायरेक्टली वी आर नॉट गोइंग फॉर द डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन. सेम इन आहार ऑल्सो. आहार में भी अगर आपको डिटॉक्स डाइट अगर देना है तो उसको दीपन पाचन, स्टार्ट विथ अ लंघन और अ दीपन पाचन आहार बिफोर रसायन और अ हेवी नरिशमेंट. Yes, so clinical trials at IPGT and RA Jamnagar shows that the Dipana Pachana before Rasayan increases the nutrient absorption and the immune response. Same the theory or the same parameters we can use in the diet planning. Real life hospital examples. That is a metabolic disorder, IPD. That is a Manda Yavayusha and a Panchakola Siddha Takra. It is found that it reduced the edema and improved the lipid profile. Then in immunodeficiency cases, Rasayan Ahara with Amalaki, ghee and Mudgayusha improved the hemoglobin and the CD4. काफी बार ऐसे होता है कि yes, I am eating the black raisins खा रहे हैं, अंजीर भी खा रहे हैं, बीट भी खा रहे हैं, रोज पोमेग्रेनेट भी ले रहे हैं, फिर भी उसका hemoglobin नहीं बढ़ता है. Yes, so in that case, what is important? The improve the immunodeficiency रसायन आहार विद अमल की, घी, मुद्गयुष, इसमें भी आपको दीपन पाचन देना बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है पहले इम्यूनो मॉड्यूलेटर देने से पहले. देन स्किन डिसऑर्डर्स, दैट इज अ तिक्त कषाय आहार एंड द लंघन. तक्र रिड्यूस द इचिंग एंड द लिवर एंजाइम्स इंप्रूव. सो इन स्किन डिसऑर्डर्स ऑल्सो तिक्त कषाय आहार के साथ एंड द लंघन अगर देते हैं, देन तक्र यू हैव टू यूज द तक्र. तक्र जब भी आप प्रिस्क्राइब करते हो तो उसको दही कैसे जमाना है, किस समय में खाना है, दोपहर में नहीं तो रात को भी लोग खा सकते हैं, तो कब खाना है, और अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रकृति विच स्पाइसेस, जैसे कोरिएंडर सीड आपको कब यूज करना है, ब्लैक पेपर कब यूज करना है, ड्राई जिंजर पाउडर कब यूज करना है, लीफी कोरिएंडर, देन मिंट एंड अदर थिंग्स यू कैन यूज according to the Prakriti. So hospital relevances with real world protocols and the evidence. Hospital and research implementation require measurable outcome. That is a iterative protocol refinement and the seamless mapping to the modern nutritional biology. When the hospitals and the researcher use Ayurveda diet plans, they must keep track of the patient results. Yes, तो जब भी आप डाइट प्रिस्क्राइब करते हो तो आपको क्या करना है, ट्रैक रखना है. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू द मीन्स प्रोटोकॉल और द रूल वी कैन से, जैसे पेशेंट हमारे पास आईपीडी में एडमिट होता है, विद इन 24 आवर्स उसका डाइट असेसमेंट होना चाहिए कि उसको कौन सा डाइट देना है ना. सॉल्ट रेस्ट्रिक्ट डाइट देना है उसको, अपतर्पण देना है, संतर्पण देना है, एंटी डायबिटिक डाइट देना है, जो भी देना है. लेकिन एडमिट होने के बाद कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हम लोग और भी इन्वेस्टिगेशंस करते हैं. अभी हमने 24 आवर्स में तो हमें जो भी डाइट प्रिस्क्राइब करना था किया, लेकिन हमें वो इन्वेस्टिगेशंस, ब्लड शुगर होगा, एनर्जी होगा, सिम्टम, पहले नहीं था उसको शुगर, हो सकता है कि उसका बाद में जो भी हमने ब्लड इन्वेस्टिगेशंस किया उसमें यूरिक एसिड बढ़ा हुआ है, हो सकता है उसका क्रिएट बढ़ा हुआ है, हो सकता है वो डायबिटिक है, तो उस समय उसका वो डाइट हमें चेंज करना होगा. So you should keep improving their diet program based on what works. Change when needed. That I want to tell you. That, and always compare and connect the Ayurvedic ideas with the modern nutrition science. The goal is to make the traditional diet easy to measure, adjust, and prove using today's medical methods and the tools. So, operationalizing Ayurvedic dietetics for hospital care and the research, develop a disease-wise diet model that is a metabolic, skin, immune, CKD, etc. Then integrating classical parameters, Agni, Dosha, and Prakriti, and modern markers like BMI, blood sugar, and the cytokines. So, disease-wise diet models you have to develop and change it again according to person to person. Use structured assessment forms. Record Agni, Koshto, Prakriti, and biochemical at the baseline and follow. Monitor the outcome regularly. This is very important. If patient is admitted in a hospital for 7 days, for 15 days, document both the objective, that is a lab values, and the subjective, that is Agni Bala, comfort, BMI, and other things. So, mechanistic and the testable biomedical effects, that is an antioxidant effect. Diet rich in amalki, turmeric, green gram, shown the upregulate the glutathione and the SOD, that is a superoxide the dismutase, that is a antioxidant effect. Then immunomodulation effect, आपको ये देखना है. If you are using any immunomodulator, yes, डाइट में अगर आपको एक अमल की 21 डेज तक या 40 डेज तक यूज कर रहे हो इन एनी फॉर्म, गुड़ुची यूज कर रहे हो, अमल की यूज कर रहे हो, या बटर मिल्क भी यूज कर रहे हो रेजिम में, तो मॉड्यूलेट द साइटोकाइन पैनल्स, दैट इज अ IL NK cells activity and the clinical studies also. Then use the report of the cytokine panels, IgG, IgM titer, inflammatory markers, and objectively track the outcome. So hospital trial, एक एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको देना चाहूंगी कि गुरुची एंड द पथ्य डाइट इंक्रीज द NK cell activity and corrects the lymphocyte count and the immune deficient in the children. मीन्स अगर आपको ये आपको स्टडी प्रेजेंट भी करना है, इफ यू वांट टू promote the Ayurveda worldwide, so you should talk in their language, the communication will be better, and integrative approach is there, so you can correlate it. So root cause of the gap, the gap क्या है? research gap, incomplete training. Example in diet practice, following the same diet for all metabolic disorders. So continuous CME on the Ahar Chikitsa is needed. Then overexposure to the fragmented information, using superfood without Ayurvedic logic, है ना. आजकल तो इंस्टा, सोशल मीडिया, फेसबुक, इस पे सब कुछ पॉप होते रहता है कि दिस इज अ सुपर फूड, यू हैव टू ईट दिस. जो भी देखो, एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट नाउ इट, बट reintegrate the samhita based reasoning for that. So really it is useful for a patient or not. Yes. Then cookbook approach, fixed menu for all IPD diets, so it should not be there. So Prakriti, Vyadhi, Desha, customized meal plans you should prepare, give the time to the patient, go to them, convince them, and it really works. Personally, I am experiencing all these things in my practice. Then commercial influence, marketed health drinks replacing the takra and the yusha. तो जैसे मार्केटेड जो भी आ रहे हैं, रेडी टू ईट, रेडी टू ड्रिंक, रेडी टू कुक, so how we this is a what we can say exploring area to our students, that they can prepare this type of Ayurvedic, yes, by intact their principles. So revive the classical Ahara Kalpana with the safety validations. So this is a sample diet assessment sheet for the IPD patients, that all about the patient information. Then nutritional status of the patient. How is the lifestyle of the patient? It is active, overexertion, sedentary, mixed, and other. Yes. Then weight. The स्थौल्य है, अंडरवेट है, ऑप्टिमल है, ओवरवेट है, मेंटल स्टेटस कैसा है, न्यूट्रिशनल नीड्स उसके क्या है, डाइट हिस्ट्री लेने के बाद, उसके बाद एनी डाइटरी रेस्ट्रिक्शंस और एलर्जीज आर देयर, देन यू गो फॉर द थेरेपेटिक डाइट एडवाइस. उसको सामान्य आहार देना है, एंटी हाइपरटेंसिव देना है, स्नेहपान का डाइट, एंटी आर्थराइटिक, तो साइंटिफिक डाइट एडवाइस यू कैन गिव एंड स्पेशल डाइट रिकमेंडेशंस इफ एनी. यू हैव टू राइट दिस the diet assessment sheet like this in OPD as well as in IPD. So Ayurvedic structured IPT hospital diet chart for the dietary nutritional profile. So you should incorporate the portion standardized for adult man and woman according to RDA 21. तो हमने जो भी डाइट प्लान I will show you, तो recommended, yes, it will be according to Ayurveda principles only, but it should not be deficit. ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि हमने आयुर्वेदिक आहार दिया और पथ्य दिया, इसकी वजह से इसका जो है न्यूट्रिशनल कंटेंट, हीमोग्लोबिन कम हो गया, कैल्शियम कम हो गया, प्रोटीन नहीं हो रहा है, एनर्जी नहीं हो रही है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इसलिए हमें ये भी देखना है, यू हैव टू फॉलो, इफ यू वांट टू प्रूव एनी डाइट प्रोटोकॉल आपको बनाना है या कुछ भी करना है, तो RDA 2020 के अकॉर्डिंगली ये सारा डेली न्यूट्रिशनल प्रोफाइल, एनर्जी, प्रोटीन, कार्बोहाइड्रेट, फैट, कैल्शियम, आयरन, फ्लूइड, पहले डाइट चार्ट बनाओ, अगर ये फुलफिल हो रहा है क्या देखो. सो RDA अलाइन फॉर द रेफरेंस मैन एंड वुमन, sugar free, jaggery, minimal fruit sweeteners only, Ayurvedic principle preserved, dosha specific, sattvic, seasonal, mild spices you can use, and quantity standardized for the hospitalized patient. So real life hospital protocols, practical evidence aligned menus, that is align the hospital menu to the RDA and the European Society for the Clinical Nutrition and the Metabolism. So guidance for energy, protein need, Ayurvedic pathya for the condition, that is a dosha balance, Agni support with a clear portioning and the monitoring. तो आपको ये पोर्शन भी लिखना है, कितना लेना है. पेट भर के अगर खाएगा तो हमें पोर्शन तो ऑलरेडी बताया है ना, आपका जितना भूख है, तो 2 parts will with the solid, 1 part with a liquid, 1 part should be, but you have to decide. अग्नि कोष्ठ और उसका प्रकृति का अभ्यास अगर आप कर लेते हो तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आप ही उसका पोर्शन साइज भी डिसाइड कर सकते हो. जस्ट सैंपल हॉस्पिटल डे, दैट इज अ quantities as per the practical hospital portion. Early, that is early morning, warm lemon water, 2 grams soaked methi seeds. So lemon water ये दिया था, लेकिन ये रियली उसके लिए ठीक है क्या? अगर पित्त प्रकृति है, पित्त से रिलेटेड डिसीज है, कोरिएंडर दे दो. दीपन पाचन कुछ देना है तो जीरा भी दे सकते हो. डायबिटीज है, मेथी सीड्स दे सकते हो. देन द कार्डामम, द सिनेमन पाउडर भी दे सकते हो. सो ब्रेकफास्ट, रागी पोरिएज 40 to 50 ग्राम रागी फ्लोर कुक्ड विद 200 ml ऑफ मिल्क और द मिलेट उपमा. देन मिड मॉर्निंग फ्रूट. अभी ये कौन सा फ्रूट इसको खाना है, कौन सा नहीं खाना है, ये भी आपको प्रॉपरली मेंशन करना है. लंच में आपको ब्राउन राइस देना है, बार्ली देना है, ये कैसे कुक करना है ये बताओ उसको, कि कुकर में कुक नहीं करना है. डायबिटीज पेशेंट है तो ड्रेन वाटर कीजिए. मूंग और मेथी दाल आपको कितनी लेनी है, मिक्स्ड वेज कितना लेना है, रोस्टेड चना अगर बीच में कुछ चाहिए तो. डिनर में आपको मूंग दाल की खिचड़ी है, फिर राइस और दाल का पोर्शन कितना रहेगा, है ना, उसमें घी कितना लेना है. So all these things you have to mention in your, that is a metabolic disorder के लिए होगा, immunodeficiency के लिए होगा, skin disorders के लिए होगा, that is a for the psoriasis, inflammatory marker, patient recorded with the symptom each. So limitations and gap in the research. Now we will see which are the limitations, gaps and the research priorities. Real world application requires adapting time tested protocols for the modern evidences and the health priorities, while preserving the classical wisdom. Now, real world application requires a time tested protocol. हमारे पास वो नहीं है. Bridging a tradition and practice allows the rational, individualized dietary plan for a range of diseases, adapted for age, preferences, and the local availability. Now, real life application involves the assessing constitution, digestive strength, disease stage, and the making evidence-based modification using the available food. And to bridge Ayurveda and modern dietetics, we must document, validate, and communicate diet-based outcome, not as a beliefs, but as a measurable clinical tools. This is very important. So, need for larger multi-center randomized control trial with the standardized Ayurvedic dietary modules, standardization of rasayan, formulation, and better reporting for the composition done, and the greater integration between Ayurveda phenotyping, Prakriti, and modern omics. That is a promising, but the early Ayurgenomics. That is all about the what we can say, the bridging between the modern science and for the I have just given a clue because it is not like in 60 or 90 minutes we cannot explain everything, but at least if you have any questions, queries, you want more, if it is possible to explain it now, I'll explain it now. Otherwise, you can mail me these things or WhatsApp me. I will solve your queries. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It's a really brainstorming and principle enlightening session. And I am very thankful to you because in Ayurveda, Sanshiptaha Kriya Yogi Nidan Parivarjanam. So how to avoid the aggravating factors that are responsible for the disease. And nowadays, due to the faulty lifestyle or lifestyle modification, lifestyle consultant, Ayurvedic consultant is the need of ours. And all the points, according to the SWOT analysis, strange opportunity threats, and all these things you have explained in very well manner. सत्र समापन के लिए हमारे यहाँ आज आरोग्य भारती पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र प्रांत के सचिव आदरणीय वैद्य संतोष जी गटने सर उपस्थित है। सर महाराष्ट्र आरोग्य विज्ञान विद्यापीठ में सीनेट मेंबर है और हमारे मार्गदर्शक आधार स्तंभ है। मैं आदरणीय संतोष जी सर से विनंती करता हूँ कि वो सत्र समापन करें। अगर किसी को कोई क्वेश्चंस होंगे तो आप मैडम को मेल कर सकते हैं। समय की उपलब्धि देखते हुए हमको ये सेशन समारोह करना होगा। आप चैट में भी अगर क्वेश्चंस होंगे तो आप प्लीज मेंशन कीजिए, मैं मैडम को इसके बारे में बोलूंगा। संतोष सर।
थैंक्स डॉक्टर कमलेश महाजन जी। आज का जो व्याख्यान हमने सबने ध्यानपूर्वक सुना, डॉक्टर चित्रकार मैडम, बहुत ही अच्छा मार्गदर्शन हम सबको प्राप्त हुआ है। हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम है वो भी अच्छी तरह से काम कर रही है, जिनमें डॉक्टर मनोज चौधरी है, डॉक्टर देवदत्त देशमुख है, डॉक्टर राहुल गौड़ी है, डॉक्टर कमलेश जी महाजन, डॉक्टर रेशमा कुंभार, डॉक्टर प्राजक्ता पटेल और जो भी नाम बाकी है उन सबके धन्यवाद देते हुए मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि अपने शास्त्र जो कहते हैं वो है अन्नमयम पुरुषः। तो अन्न से ही शरीर की उत्पत्ति होती है, वैसे ही मन की भी उत्पत्ति होती है। ऐसा एक उपनिषदों में भी संदर्भ आता है। और हमारे सामने, पूरे विश्व के सामने अगला एपिडेमिक जो है वो आने वाला है, वो लोनलीनेस का है। वो लोनलीनेस का है, यह तो विशेषज्ञ बता रहे हैं और हम इसका अनुभव भी कर रहे हैं। आगे जाके इसके अन्न द्वारा कैसे उपशम चिकित्सा की जा सके, इसके बारे में सभी को चिंतन करना चाहिए। अन्न औषध भी है, तो औषध के तौर पर भी इसका उपयोग करने के लिए हमें तत्पर रहना चाहिए। आज के हमारे उद्घाटक अतिथि डॉक्टर वी.डी. कुलकर्णी सर, जो हमेशा हमारे लिए आदर्श स्वरूप रहे हैं, वो एलोपैथी के डॉक्टर होते हुए भी, पैथोलॉजिस्ट होते हुए भी आयुर्वेद शास्त्र में रुचि रखने वाले हैं। वह इस विषय में रुचि रखते हैं क्योंकि वो मन से स्वच्छ है। आरोग्य भारती किसी पैथी में भेद करता नहीं, इसके वह उदाहरण है। एलोपैथी होलिस्टिक अप्रोच रखता है। आप सभी इस होलिस्टिक अप्रोच के साथ आगे काम करते रहे। डॉक्टर वी.डी. कुलकर्णी सर का एक विशेष गुण मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि अपने सभी डॉक्टरों को अच्छी आय तो होती है, लेकिन उन्होंने अपने आय का कुछ हिस्सा हमेशा के लिए अपने उत्पादन का, प्रोडक्ट का समाज के लिए रिजर्व रखा हुआ है। आप सारे स्टूडेंट होंगे, अध्यापक होंगे, जो भी वैद्यकीय क्षेत्र से जुड़े हुए हैं, उन सबको आरोग्य भारती के द्वारा यह वीडी कुलकर्णी सर का जो उदाहरण है वह प्रस्तुत है कि आप अपने आय का, इनकम का कुछ ना कुछ हिस्सा समाज के काम के लिए रिजर्व रखें और उसके लिए व्यय करें। यह विनती के साथ मैं मेरा आज का कथन पूर्ण करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर। आभार प्रदर्शन सत्र में यहाँ पे आज के स्वस्थवृत्त श्रृंखला में उपस्थित पुणे से आदरणीय वीडी कुलकर्णी सर, आदरणीय संतोषजी गटने सर, आदरणीय मनोज चौधरी सर, आदरणीय देवदत्त जी देशमुख और अन्य सभी पदाधिकारी, इनका यहाँ पे समय देने के लिए मैं आभार मानता हूँ। आज के प्रमुख वक्ता आदरणीय मृदुल चित्रकार मैडम, उनका भी मैं बहुत आभार मानता हूँ। और यहाँ पे जुड़े हुए सभी विद्यार्थीगण, वैद्य, यूजी, पीजी, इंटर्न्स, पीएचडी स्कॉलर, ये सभी का मैं आभार यहाँ पे मानता हूँ। और आज का जो सत्र समारोह है वो कल्याण मंत्र से होगा। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कच्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। थैंक यू एवरीवन।
थैंक यू